The Dolphins have some options that are developing in free agency. Jeremy Fowler reported today that the Rams' Jonah Jackson, who got injured last year, Dolphins are going to love that part. Anyway, he signed a big contract. He came from Detroit. He's an ass kicker. And he ended up with an injury. They ended up finding somebody else they like. So now they're allowing him to possibly find a trade. This guy can move, and he's an athlete, and he can move people. That would be a guy 6'3", 315, 5 years of experience, which really it's 4 because he took a year off. He's in the prime of his life, and he's under a current contract. He's going to get paid as a 28-year-old this year, $9 million base in 2025. In 2026, he's got another $9 million base, but he's got a roster bonus of 8. So it goes up. If I'm the Dolphins, you have middle round picks. They're not going to get a first or a second round pick for him, but maybe a third or a fourth, or a combination of thirds, maybe one this year, one next year, or something you do. I'm not exactly sure how it breaks down, but this is one of those guys that could be an option for Miami to settle your guard spot, and you still don't end up using your first or second round pick. I think a third rounder might do it, really. Maybe next year a fourth or a fifth or something, But I think a third rounder might do it. Don't they have like a couple of third rounders? I believe out of their 10 picks, the repetitive one is the third rounder, if I'm correct. So you can solve one of your guard problems with a veteran, because the guy that's going to come from the Chiefs, I think the Chiefs will keep him, like I told you before, and I think they'll sign him to a lot of money. So I don't think he's going anywhere. They franchised him? Trey Smith. Yeah. They of course.
The tag is actually going to cost them more than the highest paid guard.
What they do with the tag is they hold them,
Yeah.
and they'll have an agreement before June, and then they can pull the tag off again, and then they don't end up using it. So the tag only holds them. They're going to agree to a contract so they can manage the money and lower his number the first year instead
because
of
right
it
now
being
you're going to be paying them more.
a hard
so
cap
you're
number.
definitely going,
Yeah, you're getting a hard cap. So that's only a ploy to buy them time to negotiate, and that's what they'll do. They'll negotiate with Trey, and they'll get a deal done. They have to, bro. They have to fix that line quickly. They're in their prime with Mahomes right now, so they have to do that. So I know what's going on there. I've seen this done a thousand times.
So the Dolphins have a first, second, third, 2 fourths, 2 fifths, 3 sevenths.
All right, so maybe the 2 fourths might get you that. Something like that. 2 fourths. Sorry, with the chewing and the but hey, the voice is hanging in there, bro. We're an hour and a half in. I don't know if we're gonna get Steve again. So Jonah Jackson would be a guy that I would target. He's going to be 28 years old, so he's going into the prime. He is in good condition. The injury wasn't a devastating career ending or anything like that. It's something he can easily overcome. He wasn't an injury prone guy, anyways, but he had the injury, and he plays guard and center. Okay. So something happens to your center, you have an opportunity there. So Jonah Jackson, that might be a guy that if you're the Dolphins, could be an option. Could be an option. By the way, our friend Davin Godchow has now been given the green light to make a trade for himself too. Because of Mike Vrabel's new system, new scheme, Davon Godchow does not fit the New England Patriots and what they're going to do. So you could get him for a late round pick or something like that. But a guy that was a good pick for the Dolphins and has turned himself out to have a nice career. But it's interesting how we struggle with defensive tackles. And there's another guy that was a former Dolphin and was a solid player, not a great player. I don't think anybody would ever call Devon Godchow a great player, but he was a solid football player, good football player for a while. Still a good football player in the right scheme. You know what I'm saying? But Godchow's a guy now that's been given. I'm not saying for the Dolphins to go after him or anything like that, but I'm just, since it's a former Dolphin, a good dude overall, good player, good pick for the Dolphins. Wasn't he like I want to say fourth or fifth round pick, I want to say. I want to say that Devon Godchow was because I want to say it was the same draft that you got the other kid in the 6th round, the other defensive tackle in the 6th round, that he was a pretty good player too. And you let him go also when you change schemes, which 5th round, right? Are you looking at the draft that year? Because I'm wondering, is it Taylor was the name of the kid? Taylor was the name of the kid in the 6th round. That they were both actually pretty. Vincent Taylor. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Vincent Taylor. That's it. Vincent Taylor. I think he was like a 6th round pick. Was the other kid, and he was actually productive for Miami. I think he might still be floating around the league somewhere. Actually.